It seemed to say, Quod nescient eos interficit. I didn't know what it meant. Quad meant what, but that was all I knew. An inscription had appeared on the wall. Maybe it had been there all the time, and I just couldn't read it. I wasn't sure. The only thing of interest on Warb's body was the charm bracelet, and I didn't want to take that back. I only hope he got some good luck out of it before his final payoff came. Maybe I should have warned him. Maybe he got what he deserved. Who was I to judge? Sometimes I wondered if these ancient temples were designed to fall in on themselves at dramatic moments. The only thing of interest on it looked as if part of the ceiling had rearranged most of Warb's head. Sometimes I wondered if these ancient... I searched the rubble and uncovered the golden falchion. The sword was bad luck, but I had a feeling it was safer in my hands than anyone else's. Carlotta was obviously upset by Anu's injuries. I guess there was a heart in that cold chest somewhere. Come on, Carlotta, let's get out of here before the rest of the roof comes down.
I'm not leaving my master.
He's not going to make it. You can at least save yourself.
Leave us, Luton. Leave!
What's up with you?
Broke my stupid leg when the roof came in.
Which one are you?
What?
You must be Coombe.
How did you know that?
I recognize your voice. Now give me one good reason why I shouldn't turn you over to the watch.
Please, don't. I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. It was just a little fun, you know? Secret meetings and plots for world domination. I mean, it's intoxicating.
Well, now it's blown up in your face, and at least one member of your cult is dead.
Who was it?
Warb. He had a disagreement with a large block of stone.
I don't want to do... I'm terrified. I suspect that some of the cultists might have wanted us to fail.
Really? Why?
I don't know. Just a hunch. Please don't turn me over to the watch. I didn't do anything wrong.
8 people died because of your cult.
No. I'm sorry. I should never have got involved.
Where have the others gone?
I don't know. Back to the sanctuary, I guess. They didn't really tell me much. I was only the novice.
Maybe I was getting soft in my old age, but I couldn't escape the feeling that the poor fool was just a victim of peer pressure. I guess he just wanted to belong to something, and he didn't much care what. I sympathized, in my own way. Get going. I don't ever want to see you again.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You won't regret this.
I'd better not. The terrified cultist was obviously in pain and finding it hard to walk. He wasn't going anywhere. Well, he wasn't going anywhere fast, anyway. The cultist sanctuary was deep in the shades. I don't know exactly what I hoped to learn from the sanctuary, but I went anyway. Maybe I was hoping that all the cultists would be as easily intimidated as Coombe. I was wrong.
You're very sharp, Mr. Luton. You've done a very sharp thing. Maybe even sharp enough to cut your own throat.
You must be Kondo.
I'm flattered. How did you know?
I recognize your voice. You tried to kill me with that crossbow once before.
It's silver-tipped before you get any heroic ideas. The dark sect isn't as sloppy as the cult of Anu Anu.
A cult within a cult.
We couldn't believe our luck. Mooncarve and Therma were looking for people to join their cult, and they actually wanted to summon Nyarlathotep. Can you believe that? Do you have any idea how rare it is that someone wants to summon the laddering horror for anything other than wreaking havoc and destruction?
Who's we?
Oh, no, it's not that easy. Do you think I'm the overconfident villain who reveals his whole plot to the hero shortly before placing you in an overly complex life or death situation that...
It might make life easier if you were.
Real life isn't like the clickies, Luton. The good guys don't always win.
What makes you think I'm the good guy?
I don't care what side you're on, Luton. All I care about is that we are victorious and that everything is destroyed.
I just don't understand why anyone would want to destroy the whole of creation. If you want to die, why not just kill yourself?
I'm going to achieve something with my life, Luton. Something that no one will ever forget.
Everyone's going to be dead. No one is going to remember anything.
And that's an achievement no one else can claim.
You're insane.
That's what my psychiatrist said. I had to kill him too. He knew too much. Just like you.
Some people say that when you're about to die, your life flashes before your eyes. For me, the world seemed to go into slow motion.
I told you, Luton, the good guys don't always win.
Very true, but they try much harder.
I'm dead, aren't I? Am I going to spend eternity suffering in the pits of hell for what I've done?
If that's what you want.
Oh, I can't believe I'm not going to find out how all this ends. After all the work I put into it.
It's never fun being taken off a project you've worked hard on.
That's the last time I get so involved in my work.
How right you are.
When I came to, I wasn't sure if I was dead or alive. That seemed to be happening to me a lot.
Hello again.
Have you come for me?
No. I was just passing through and I thought it would be polite to say hello. Isn't that what you're supposed to do with acquaintances?
If you want to scare them to death.
Sorry. I'm not good in social situations.
It must be hard to fit in when you're a 7-foot-tall skeleton with a scythe.
I'll see you later.
That doesn't fill me with confidence.
That, I'm afraid, is your problem.
I'd killed Kondo, but at least he hadn't killed me. On Kondo's body was an amulet. It had to be worth finding out what it was, so I took it. When I went back to the mansion, the butler had some grim news for me. The Count had shuffled off his mortal coil in the recent disc quake. He was sleeping the big sleep, pushing up daisies, crossing the final front. Basically, he was dead. Fortunately, he'd left provisions for me in his will. He'd pay my way to the end of the case, and more importantly, he was allowing me to continue to use the library. Well, what did it matter to him who used the library now he was gone? When you're dead, you were sleeping the big sleep, and nothing much mattered to you anymore. All the nastiness was behind you. For the rest of us, the nastiness was still all around us. And if I didn't stop that nastiness from crushing us all under its tentacles, we'd all be... Frankly, I didn't think the afterlife would have enough beds. I had a look through the Necrotelecomnicon discussed for students to see if I could find any more useful information. It wasn't long before I found the phrase that had been inscribed on the wall of the sepulchral temple, Quod nescient eos interficit. It turned out to be the motto of an ancient cult, the dark sect of Nylonathotep, whose emblem was the triple-lobed eye. The tome told me a little of the history of the cult. It seems the mad cultists of the Laddering Horror had conspired to destroy all creation. But their attempt failed, obviously. And they were believed to have faded into obscurity. I had a suspicion that's exactly what the cult wanted people to think. According to the book, the cult had a sacred artifact, a source of great power known as the Radiant Trapezohedron, which could destroy Nylonathotep or give him dominion over all things, if it fell into his tentacles. There was no description of it, although the author seemed to think it was something small. There was something about a cult plotting to destroy all creation that disturbed me. I had a feeling you couldn't reason with people like that. It always looked much easier in the clickies. When I went back to Leonard's cell, it was lacking a large part of the wall. The disc quake must have taken its toll on the palace. Leonard and two conkers were still working on the flapping wing flying device like nothing had happened. Just a few more questions, if you wouldn't mind. Have you heard of the Radiant Trapezohedron?
What is this being?
Well, I don't really know. It's a source of great power. That's the only thing I'm sure about.
What is being a trapezohedron to mean?
It's a type of crystal in which all the faces are trapeziums.
And a trapezium?
A type of quadrilateral with no parallel sides.
No, that's a trapezoid.
No, a trapezoid has two parallel sides of different lengths.
That's a trapezium.
No, it's not.
Where are your family from anywhere near Genua?
My grandfather was. What's that got to do with anything?
Genuine geometry has slightly different definitions to Ephebian geometry. I tend to go by Legibus's definitions in his Geometries. Have you read it?
This trapezodendron.
Trapezohedron.
All sides would be consisting of squashed squares.
Well, that's a slightly crude summary, but essentially correct.
That's it. That's the jewel I am being seeking.
Really?
Much yesness. Just like that is being, but with gold platings.
And you were looking for this, right? How close were you to finding it?
I am of some sureness that it is to being in Ankh-Morpork, and I am of the believing that this arrangement of stars is of great importantude in its discoverage.
Can I see that?
Please, take if you wishing. I am not to be having much chances to look myself now. I would be of delighted nature if you would continue the looking for me.
Two Conkers was Ilsa's companion, an Agatean with a sharp mind but a slender grasp on the local tongue. He was also Ilsa's husband. I still didn't know how I felt about that. Leonard of Quim was he was clearly one of those people who started to look old around 30. And he wasn't exactly bald. It was more like his head had just grown up through his hair. The Temple of Small Gods. The Temple of Small Gods seemed deserted when I returned there. I could hear mad laughter echoing inside.
I was drawn to Mooncalf by his religious fervor. He was the kind of man who wouldn't miss a single event in the temple, no matter how trivial. He also struck me as the kind of fanatic who knew 100...
Mooncalf? Is that you?
Leave this place! Begone! All are cursed! All will be destroyed!
It was Mooncalf, all right. This amulet is the mark of that entity that you and your cult summoned. I found it on Kondo's body. Does it mean anything to you?
It means that Kondo is a traitor. He won't be the only one. They all hate me!
Kondo wasn't a follower of Anu Anu at all. He worships the laddering horror. I think he might have been mad.
Madness! Yes, sweet singing in my ears.
Seems to be fashionable at the moment. Now listen to me. I need to know who else might have been a double agent.
Who? Who? I'll tell you who. They all hated me. Especially Foyd.
Foyd? The troll?
Yes, the troll. I never liked him. I don't trust trolls.
Where is he now?
How would I know? He wouldn't tell me. He never liked me. Nobody liked me!
Did he say anything to you?
He said he was going to change his identity, make a run for it. Such a coward. Stupid troll.
What about the rest of the cult? Where can I find them?
It's too late for everyone. Nothing can save us now.
Where's your faith? Don't you believe that Anu Anu is the god of gods?
No! I renounce my faith. Anu Anu betrayed me. He betrayed me!
Mooncalf jumped screaming through the stained glass window and began to climb the temple. I could hear Mooncalf ranting as he climbed up the outside of the temple.
I give my faith to one God, and it brings about the destruction of everything. Gods are nothing but trouble. You can't trust them. You can't trust them. We don't need them. They need us more than we need them. I'm letting atheism into my heart as my savior! I am a born-again atheist! Oh, I can't believe I survived that fall.
You didn't.
Your death then.
You've heard of me? I'm flattered.
Oh, what were the odds that I'd get hit by lightning just as I renounced all gods?
About 1 to 1, I'd say. You're not the first. Although I think you're the first to do it from the top of their own temple. Full marks for style.
Thank you, I think.
Don't mention it. I try to make the process as enjoyable as possible.
So what happens next?
That depends on you. But you've renounced all the gods, so I doubt you'll be off to any of the heavens. Or hells, for that matter.
Well, what about reincarnation? I always liked the sound of that.
Well, it's not really up to me. But if you do come back, can I advise you to be careful what you say on the top of religious monuments?
I'll see what I can do. Do you know, I don't feel so, I don't know, so dedicated anymore.
Death gives you a whole new perspective on life.
I should never have become a zealot. My mother was right. I should have been a tax collector.
Perhaps in the next lifetime, eh?
Say what you like about Mooncalf. He knew how to put on a show. Unfortunately, he hadn't left me with many leads, although finding Foyd wasn't a bad idea. I had already a lot of practice getting information out of... All I had to do was work out where he was.